The Origins and Evolution of Prostitution, The Historical Perspective, Episode 1 of a multi-part web-based mini-series. Prostitution, often referred to as the world's oldest profession, is an institution that has been intricately woven into the fabric of human history for thousands of years. Its origins and evolution reveal a complex narrative of survival, power, societal norms, and cultural exchange. The earliest records of prostitution date back to ancient Mesopotamia, around 2400 BCE. In these civilizations, prostitution was closely tied to religion and spirituality. Temple priestesses, known as sacred prostitutes, engaged in ritualistic sexual practices as acts of devotion to gods and goddesses, particularly Inanna, Ishtar, the goddess of love, fertility, and war. In ancient Greece, a similar phenomenon existed with the hetairai, highly educated courtesans who provided companionship and intellectual discourse, as well as physical intimacy. Unlike common prostitutes, they held an elevated social status and influenced politics and culture. Meanwhile, in ancient Rome, brothels, lupanars, were a regular feature of urban life, catering to citizens and visitors alike. During the Middle Ages, prostitution became more secular, largely driven by economic necessity. In a world where women's opportunities were severely limited, many turned to prostitution as a means of survival. Cities across Europe regulated and taxed brothels, and some authorities even viewed them as necessary to curb illicit relationships that could threaten the sanctity of marriage. In medieval Japan, the oiran and geisha culture emerged, combining entertainment, artistry, and companionship. Though not strictly prostitutes, their roles overlapped in certain contexts. These women were celebrated for their beauty, wit, and talent, creating a unique cultural dynamic. The Victorian era saw the rise of moralistic campaigns that sought to suppress prostitution. In Britain, the Contagious Diseases Acts, 1864-1869, subjected women suspected of being prostitutes to invasive medical examinations. This legislation sparked outrage among feminists and reformers, who criticized it as a violation of women's rights. Prostitution during this time often thrived in secret. Women worked in houses of ill repute or independently in urban centers, serving a clientele that included men from all social classes. While it was stigmatized, the demand never waned. The 20th and 21st centuries have seen significant changes in attitudes and laws surrounding prostitution. In some countries, like the Netherlands and Germany, prostitution is legalized and regulated, providing sex workers with legal protections and healthcare benefits. In contrast, other nations criminalize it entirely, forcing it into underground markets where workers are more vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. The rise of technology has also transformed the profession. Online platforms and social media have allowed sex workers to connect directly with clients, bypassing traditional intermediaries like pimps or brothel owners. This shift has sparked debates about autonomy, exploitation, and the role of technology in modern sex work. Throughout history, prostitution has been a mirror reflecting societal values, hypocrisies, and struggles. It highlights the intersection of power, gender, economics, and morality. Despite the stigma, it has endured as a profession shaped by survival and necessity, challenging societies to reconsider their attitudes toward sex work. As the conversation around sex work continues to evolve, the history of prostitution serves as a reminder of its deep roots in human civilization. Understanding its origins and complexity allows us to approach the topic with nuance and empathy, acknowledging the agency and struggles of those who have participated in the world's oldest profession. Thanks for watching Episode 1, The Historical Perspective, Part 1 of a multi-part web-based mini-series called The Origins and Evolution of Prostitution. Enjoy the video? Take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for access to Episode 2 and other future releases.